Hello everybody, my name is Draconic and upgrades are expensive in Driving Empire. And I only just recently realized that there are 3 different engine upgrades you can choose, and one isn't just better than the other, they all have differing stats. So, let's go over it first. If you buy all the upgrades for a car, if you buy every single different engine type, it'll cost a lot of money. And so what I want to do with this video is give you guys the best engine types for all the races in Driving Empire so you don't go wasting millions of dollars on your brand new Solus or Audi R18 and all of these cars that cost millions of dollars to upgrade engines on. I want to get you guys the best engine for each race, and doing so, we're going to go test one car at every race, and I'm going to use the Jaguar XJ220. We're going to try all 3 engine types, the sport engine, the street engine, and the race engine. We're going to go over what engine does what, and we're going to see which engines are the best for which races in Driving Empire. Let's get right into the video. Alright, very simple explainer. The sport engine is the first engine you can buy. It takes 5.9 seconds to go from 0 to 200 miles an hour. And it's the balanced engine, which has a balance of top speed and acceleration in the game. The next engine that you can buy is the street engine, which is the acceleration focused engine, which has a lot more power for acceleration. It gets to 200 faster. It's the quickest of the 3 at 5.8 seconds. And the third engine you could buy is the race engine, and it's also pretty good, but it takes a bit longer. It takes 6.4-ish seconds to get to 60. But from that, let's just go straight to the races. We have drag race here, sports on the left, street is in the middle, and race is on the right. I have it at half speed, but all 3 of these engines will do you just fine at the race, but this is another good example of what speed matters to you, and I'm using manual here so you don't have to worry about the gearbox messing anything up. The first to cross the line is the street engine at 5.76, then goes to the sport engine at 5.85, and the race engine is last at 6.2. So it's half a second slower to get the race engine. On to highway, where things might be different. Alright, at highway we have the same lineup, sport, street, and race. Now sport and street get off to quicker starts, of course. They both get to their high speeds right away. Street has the lowest top speed. Sport has a marginally higher top speed, but the balance, as I said before, and race does about 260, and so it's about 15-20 miles an hour faster than street engine on this. So whereas street completely whooped race engine on drag race, when it comes to highway race, race engine is a lot better. But what's really interesting isn't highway race or drag race, because obviously race engine is for highway, street engine is for drag. What's really interesting is the other 2 races that I'm going to cover, which are circuit and cross country, which we will get to now. Now, starting with cross country, for these 3 engines, it's more of an interesting race because the times are rather close. Like, you'd think maybe race engine or street engine would take a really big lead, but the fact of the matter is that this race is really balanced for top speed because you have that really long straight, but it also has great areas for acceleration, like coming out of that straight and the starting weaving bits and the nice hairpins. Those are great areas where the street engine catches up on time. So honestly, this race is extremely close. The only real loser here is the sport engine, unfortunately for that one. It's about 1.5-ish seconds slower than the other 2, but between the street and the race engine, it's actually the race engine that beats it by 0.03 seconds, so it's basically a tie. By all means, it's a tie. Just choose whichever one you want. If you're stuck, maybe if your car is slower with the acceleration and you're stuck accelerating forever, go for the street engine. And if your car has a really high top speed already, but its acceleration is slow, or if it's the other way around, go for the race engine. Basically, just pick whichever engine compensates your playstyle here. Now, important note, actually, is that you should go based off of the car here. If your car has really high acceleration values but low top speed, like the Audi R18 or the Solus GT, maybe you should buy the race engine for races like cross country, and maybe even for circuit as well, depending on how much you end up at that top speed based on your cornering ability and your acceleration already being so high. For those instances, maybe you should choose the race engine, and for instances where your car has a really low top speed but it already has high acceleration, maybe like the KTM that just released, you should go for the race engine as well. And for cars with really high top speeds but lower accelerations, maybe if you're taking the Dev L16 for circuit race for some reason, or you're taking the Ravana race or Bugatti Bugatti for circuit race, then I would definitely pick the street engine for those because you already have plenty of top speed. And so already summing up the cross country race, pick whichever engine is best for your car there. But when it comes to circuit, it's definitely more of the same story. Now, when I tested the Jaguar at circuit, it looks like at Circuit the street engine performs the best here with a 162.6. Surprisingly, the race engine actually isn't very far behind. Maybe that's because the Jag is a lower top speed. I picked a car here that was really balanced with the top speed and the acceleration. The cornering on this car is really good, so I'm focusing primarily on the cornering, the handling, the speed and the acceleration. And with the trade-offs being what they are, and the fact that you can accelerate in a way that's good enough for both of them in manual mode, I think it turns out that the street engine is still better for circuit for most cars. The race engine is better for cross-country and Sophia Bay for most cars. I'd say where the street engine shines is circuit, rush hour, maybe races like that. Lightning Loop is definitely a race engine, but just like that, that's really the gist of the advice. If you're feeling like a nerd, you might want to go for Sport Engine. The Sport Engine loses by over a second about in circuit race. It's still decent, but it basically just feels like a souped up stock engine when it comes to it, because the stock engine is the fourth option that you start with. So it really doesn't feel that great compared to the other two. But yeah, if you're going to pick an engine, I'd go for between the race engine and the sport engine, or the street engine for these cars for sure. Just follow the advice I gave you, and that should sum up this video. I hope it helps. If you have any questions, ask them below in the comments. As always, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.